What's good, y'all? It's one and only King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Switch Flames podcast. So LeBron James has been suspended for one game. LeBron James has been suspended for one game for this little altercation he had with Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart will get a 2-game suspension. Once again, LeBron is going to get a game suspension, and Isaiah Stewart is going to get a 2-game suspension. So the NBA has come down with its punishment. And so that's a big loss for every New Yorker because the Lakers are only coming into town for one time during the whole season. And so LeBron, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? And I know LeBron likes to play in MSG, but he's going to be out against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, you know what I'm saying? And that atmosphere in the Garden, we know is electrifying, and it would have been a great sight to have LeBron there, a great game to watch. I'm expecting it's going to be Tuesday nights tonight. So I'm expecting that LeBron um, is definitely bothered by that. But it is what it is. When you look at the play, let's just be really honest about it, right? In playing organized ball, I know there was times, you have the free throw line. You always got somebody that wants to be extra. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's just being a lot more physical, trying to prove a point. And, I'm just saying, trying to just be physical with you. And in this case, that's why I look at Isaiah Stewart. He was definitely trying to be physical with LeBron. If you look at it, there was a camera angle, and I didn't really see this angle on TV when I was watching the game. I saw this more on the internet, in one of the replays. They were showing it from this angle where when you look at it from this angle, you saw Isaiah Stewart look like in trying to, get a box out and fight a box out. If you look how he positioned himself, it's kind of like him and LeBron were hooked. Isaiah Stewart's kind of hooked himself to LeBron a little bit. And if you look at the angle, Isaiah Stewart lowers his body to kind of help him get momentum. It's just to get momentum, and that's a little tactic that some guys would do, especially when they're smaller than the guy they're, um, locking up with. They'll try to use that force momentum. They'll get down a little bit lower, and that's where the mishaps happens. And once Isaiah Stewart gets lower, he's trying to, push off on LeBron a little bit as they're hooked. And you can see the push, what I'm saying, as they're kind of like fighting for the position. That's when LeBron tries to swipe at him, which is, a common move that players do when, guys linger and grab me a little too long. You just swipe to get them the hands off of them. You know what I'm saying? That's a common thing that you see it. Anytime you watch an NBA game, just watch it. There's times you'll see guys not really fight for the offensive rebound off a free throw. And there's times you see guys be extra physical, you know what I mean? And attempt to possibly get an offensive rebound, right? So if you watch, you'll see it all the time. Guys lock up all the time. Guys push hands off. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? In this case, do I think LeBron was purposely trying to hit him in the face and hurt him? No, I don't think that at all. Do I think LeBron swinging on purpose? I actually definitely believe he swung on purpose, but I believe his intentions was to slap their hand away. And because Isaiah Stewart's momentum of how he was pushing when he hooked LeBron, his momentum and how low he got put his head in harm's way. So as soon as LeBron swung, it hit his head instead of swiping his arm, and that's where the mishaps happens. And I look at LeBron right after the play. He's basically just has his arm out. Looks like he's approached to apologize. Then the guys get close. And I don't know what said at that point. I don't know if LeBron said something else because he didn't like how the guy's pressing. I really don't know what happened at that point. But, then the blood starts to drip. We start seeing it. And, Isaiah Stewart flips out and he goes bonkers. He goes crazy. He goes like a madman. He goes like Mad Max. So he was going like he was like on some bath salts. Like nothing could stop him. It wouldn't have mattered if you shot him like 10 times. He would have still kept running. There was a time period where he ran through so many people, and then all of a sudden he got stopped. And I'm saying to myself, man, the reality of it is this: initially you were right up in LeBron's grill. If you could have swung then, you know what I mean? Now maybe you got pissed off later on, like I said, moments later when the blood started dripping, you realize that you're gashed open. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just think the NBA is making an example of Isaiah Stewart, just how he acted after the play, how he almost raised the level of danger in the event. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is all on film. You're in Detroit, home of the Malice of the Palace, We know the NBA has cracked down so much since then, and that they really are trying to prevent an occasion from ever happening again. So we know that for a fact from the NBA. They are really trying to make sure that they don't have none of these kind of altercations like the Malice and the Palace. So they've changed a lot of the rules because of that. They've been very strict and they've been very successful in not having that kind of altercation on the floor, on live TV. And so this is why he got a 2-game suspension. And so I'm cool with the suspension. I get it. They both have to get suspended for that kind of altercation. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, what I'm saying, it was definitely, like I said, I believe LeBron swung on purpose, like I said, but I think he was swinging more with the intention of trying to break free of the hold that Isaiah Stewart had, not trying to, create 5 stitches needed for his face. You understand what I'm saying? Rumors are that also that LeBron, I guess, before the night was over, was asking to get Isaiah Stewart's number. So it's possible these guys have talked it out. I don't think there's going to be anything happening between these two teams next time they face off. You know what I'm saying? I think this is something that those two guys can work out behind the scenes because I just don't really think it was intentional. And, I think these guys are working out behind the scenes, and I think everything's going to move on. But it was just definitely an interesting thing. And, during the game was stopped for 15 minutes for this whole thing. So it lasted long. You know what I'm saying? It was a big stoppage in the game. It was crucial. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers ended up rallying together and come back and win that game. So it was definitely maybe a rallying call for the Lakers, and maybe we'll see a different Laker team moving forward. Maybe this was a blessing in disguise. But other than that, like I said, LeBron is going to get a 1-game suspension. And so, once again, for all you Knicks fans, all you guys at the Garden, you ain't going to get to see LeBron come in. Like I said, that's usually, definitely a great time and great atmosphere in the Garden. But it is what it is. But I'm interested to see what kind of reception Carmelo will get, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But it's your boy King Cow 516 signing off. This has been the Swiss Flames podcast. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit us up on the links. You see the links right on your screen right now. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Comment, let me know what you think about the suspension. Do you agree with it? Do you think LeBron should have got more? Do you think Isaiah Stewart should have got less or more? Let me know in the comments. Hit me up. With that said, it's your boy King Cow 516 signing off. This has been the Swiss Flame Podcast.